He took every Mississippi House of Representatives is now in session. Please let the House come to order. Please stand as we're led in prayer today by the gentleman from Jackson. Remain standing thereafter for the pledge.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you this morning for all the blessings that you have given us. Please help us to remember the responsibility you have placed in us and the trust you have placed in us. Grant us wisdom as we continue to try and do your will. Lord, we ask you that you bless our state and each member of this body. We ask all these things in your name. Amen. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Let's do it. Open machine, Madam Clerk. Has everyone voted? Close machine, Madam Clerk.
There's a quorum present, Mr.
Thank you,
Speaker.
Mr. Clerk. We'll have the reading of the journal. Gentleman from Rankin moves we dispense with the reading of the journal. All in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Report of Select Committee.
We have none, Mr. Speaker.
Report of Standing Committee.
We have reports on the counter, Mr. Speaker.
Introductions of bills and constitutional amendments. Gentleman from Marion, Mr. Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask unanimous consent to dispense with the reading of the introduction.
Is there objection? Hearing none, we will do that. Resolutions, petitions, memorials, and other papers.
We have none, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. This time we'll have introductions of guests and visitors. Gentleman from Hines, Mr. Brown. He passes. Lady from DeSoto, Ms. McCray.
Mr. Speaker and House, I would like you to take a look in the North Gallery. I have 4 people from Horn Lake High School. Mrs. Marva Jones, can you please stand? Ms. Marva Jones is here this weekend to participate in the powerlifting contest. She's one of the finalists at Horn Lake High. Can we give them a welcome? Her a welcome. She is here with Coach Wooten and Coach Eddington and Malika Spearman. Welcome to the Capitol.
Gentleman from Bolivar, Mr. Sanders.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing a distinguished guest of mine this morning, and I want all of us to know that every time we introduce a guest, they're very special to us. But this gentleman that's seated up in the North Gallery today is very special to me and my family. And I didn't have the distinct pleasure at the time of knowing him, but my daughter, who lives in North Dallas, had a situation to occur, and she went in the hospital, and none of the doctors and experts could find out what was going on with her. So my wife and I took flight. We went out there, and Dr. Matthews, who saw our message on Facebook, called us up and told us that, hey, I tell you what you do, you check that vitamin D level. For some reason, he had the understanding that her vitamin D level was low. And believe you me, I mean, everybody was talking about her appendix and things of that magnitude. And called Dr. Matthews, and I told him, I said, you know, you're my hero. You're just not a doctor. You are my hero. Because that darling daughter of mine is very dear. And any man that's in this chamber that have a daughter, man, our daughters are something. So I want everyone at this time to look to your North Gallery there, and Dr. Matthews, who's present. I have all the material here in front of me, and I'll present to you. But I just want to thank you for what you've done, and the state of Mississippi is proud of you.
All right, do we have any other introductions? I don't see any. We will go now to the calendar. Excuse me, lady from Hines, Ms. Clark, you have an introduction?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Did you say announcements?
I'm sorry, what? No, ma'am. We were doing introductions. I thought you might have an introduction. We're going to the calendar now, page 10, ladies and gentlemen. Under the in-conference appropriation general bills, I'm going to recognize the vice chairman. Item 1.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to go to Senate Bill 2120. I think that's item 1.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if that's the item.
That's item 9.
Yes, sir. Skip down to that item.
Yes, sir. You're recognized.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, this is the conference report on the Department of Public Safety salary raises for the Mississippi Highway Patrol and MBN officers. We passed this multiple times on the House floor. It's gone to conference. The House and Senate have agreed this pay raise. If you remember last year, they received a 3% pay raise, but because of salary caps, they were unable to get it. This 3% is retroactive. It goes back. They received that. And then in addition, their pay raise will be based on a progressive type pay raise where the lower ranked troopers, the ones actually out there in the field, will receive a greater pay raise, getting them up to about $46,950. And as you work your way up progression in the ranks, that pay raise percentage goes down all the way to colonel rank, and that pay raise will, with different years of experience, ranges in there, 119,500. And that's an explanation of the conference report. I yield for any questions.
Question. Jump from Wayne, Mr. Barnett.
Thank you. Would the gentleman yield for one quick question?
Certainly.
Do you recall if the CT officers that were moved to DPS were included in this bill?
They are not.
Or not?
Are not. Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
gentlemen.
You're welcome.
I don't see any further questions. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Question occurs in the conference report. Senate Bill 2120. In favor of the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By about 120 yeas, 0 nays, report is adopted. Next item. He yields. That brings us to in-conference Ways and Means calendar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We would go to item 1, House Bill 446, and move to adopt the conference report. This bill this is our tag bill. So this is a bill that I know the Vice Chair worked on this, as well as the representative from Jackson. Neither one of them are here this morning, so I'm presenting it. But hopefully, if you had a tag you needed, you got that in by now, because the train is leaving the station. That's it.
Question. I don't see any. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Question occurs in the conference report, House Bill 446. In favor of the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Close machine, Madam Clerk. By about 121 yeas, 0 nays, report is adopted. Next item.
That's all as far as the reports. We do have a unanimous consent for the bill we passed yesterday, Senate Bill 2063. Just ask unanimous consent to clean up an omission and a typo on that bill. This was the qualified resort bill.
Do you care to explain what we're correcting?
It's just a typo and an omission from the.
Typo and an omission. All right. Any questions?
I don't know if I can explain it any better than that.
Anybody want to know what the typo or omission is? You're good with that.
You may have to read it or give it back to me so I can read it.
It's a good bill. It's just a
It's a
good bill.
great bill.
Y'all vote
We're
for it.
changing Mississippi Highway 278 to US Highway 278. So Mississippi, or US is taking the place of Mississippi, and it looks like the Senate left out one of their areas in Lamar County. I don't know where it's at, Lamar County.
All right. Any questions? Jim from Hines, Mr. Brown.
Yeah,
Sure.
thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just for clarification, can we officially change a state highway to a federal highway by just resolution by this body?
No, sir, we didn't change it. We erroneously referred to it in the bill.
Oh, it was already a federal highway?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Oh, I'm sorry. It was just unanimous consent. You're right. Didn't require a vote. All right. I don't hear any objection. All right. That brings us to in conference general bills. Item 1. You recognize, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a conference report on the wind pool bill. This is one of those issues that we have been dancing with ever since I've been in legislator. That's been 6 years now, so we finally think that we have a conference report that represents the entire state and solves it for moving forward through time as well. I just want to take a second and say thank you to the Commissioner of Insurance, Mike Cheney, for working on it. Chairman Walter Michelle in the Senate, Chairman Hank Zuber in the House. We spent almost every day this year working on this, so this is a long time coming. So just wanted to say that real quick. All right, so to break it down, we created 4 things off to the side, small things. We created a trigger language, which means that if the reserves in the wind pool drop below $250 million, that all the money in the rebate kicks back to the wind pool to make them whole so that the reserves are solid, which is important for the wind pool moving forward so that they don't ever run out of reserves so that they can keep their reinsurance down, which was very important. We were able to do that. We did put in there that it will not be state funds moving forward. We also removed the repealer. So this will be everlasting moving forward. All right, we also created a Commission of Insurance Discretionary Insurance Fire Fund. Created a new fund to fund to, but it just has the 3 programs that existed in the past: the rural fire truck, the municipal fire fund, and the county volunteer fire department fund, which those 2 are the 2 funds that we funded in House Bill 819 earlier in the session. So those are the funds that it operates, that the fire people use. We're not creating an additional fund, we're just creating one that goes to, and then he'll fund out of that to those 3 funds. So this will be an historic investment into the fire trucks. 819 was supposed to be one of the largest investments we've ever made year after year after year. This is actually more money than that. We put 819 in Senate Bill 2335 earlier in the week. So all the language went in, it just didn't have any funding. This now will supply the funding so that all those programs can move forward. All right, so for the first $10 million, 60% will go to the, bless you. She's just excited about these fire trucks, y'all. There you go. All right, so for the first $10 million, 60% of the funds will go to the wind pool. The next 40% will go to the cancer fund that we created, $500,000 a year, and then 3.5 to the discretionary fire fund. The next $10 million, after that, it will be split 80% to the wind pool and 20% to the discretionary fire fund. So the wind pool generates between $18 to $20 million. So this will be the breakdown on $20 million just for easy math. $14 million will go to the wind pool. $500,000 will go to the cancer fund, which is the cancer fund is the first of its kind in the nation. Mississippi will be leading the way on that. And 5.5 will be sent to the Commissioner's Fire Fund, which when 819 we did it, and they said it was an historical investment. They've never seen anything like it. It was only $3.8 million. So we are now moving $5.5 million every year to fund and help build new fire stations, new fire trucks, new fire apparatus throughout the entire state. I guess that's it, Mr. Speaker.
Question, Gentleman Montgomery, he passes. I don't see any further questions. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. In favor of the conference report, House Bill 451, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. I vote 110 yeas, 8 nays. Report is adopted. Next item looks like number 5, Judiciary B.
All right, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 2246. This is one that we have already passed. The Senate recommitted it because it had some language in there, and they raised a point of order on some language that included DUI warrants for a particular area of the state. That was recommitted. So the bill in itself just has to do with search warrants authorizing a search warrant for sex offenses against children upon oral testimony. It only has to do with computer crime investigations for sex offenses against children. That's explanation of the conference report.
Questions? I don't see any. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Question occurs on the conference report, Senate Bill 2246. If you favor the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By vote 120 yeas, 0 nays. Report is adopted. Next item, number 6, Judd A. Don't see the chairman. Next item, number 9, Education. Vice Chairman, Director now.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is the conference report for Senate Bill 2430, which would establish the Educational Facilities Revolving Loan Fund. We've basically made a few changes to this from how it passed the House originally. It's become more of a maintenance project type fund, so things like air conditioner repair, roof repair, things like that. The original plan is to fund it through a diversion of the existing building fund plus some money from the EEF fund, and that would be about $40 million to start. Projects would be limited to $1 million per year per school, and again, those are more for maintenance type things than construction. It does have a 1-year repealer, so we'd like to look and see how this performs in the first year. Come back next year, make some changes, and hopefully make a larger investment that could actually be used for building facilities and things like that. That's an explanation of the conference report.
Questions on the report, Gentleman Newton, Mr. Rushing.
Well, Gentleman Neal,
Yes, sir.
I may have missed it and you may have explained it. Is this like a grant program or a loan program or?
It's a revolving loan program.
It's a loan
So, yeah,
program.
I think I did forget to say that. They're interest-free loans, yeah.
Great. Thank you, Gentleman.
Any other questions? I don't see any. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Question occurs on the conference report, Senate Bill 2430. You favor the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. Vote 121 yeas, 0 nays. Report is adopted. Brings us down to local and private.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Item number 1, House Bill 1747, we would like to concur.
Okay? Go right ahead.
Okay, so the difference is, obviously, this was one of the bills that the Senate had put a reverse repealer in it. They had also inserted some language that the point of order was raised the other day. We refiled a clean bill. They, just yesterday evening, before the deadline, refiled it clean. So we're back on just the Clinton bill now, which would authorize a tax on restaurants for tourism, parks and recreation. So that's an explanation of the conference report.
Questions? I don't see any.
Move final passage.
There's one. Hang on. Jump from Harrison, Mr. Haney.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Jimmy Hill,
Yeah.
is that, I didn't look in the other one, there is a referendum like all the others, correct?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
All right, open the machine, Madam Clerk. Question occurs on the conference report, House Bill 1747. In favor of the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. About 109 yeas, 7 nays. Report is adopted.
Local and private yields the floor.
Very good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have apparently gone through all the calendar that we can go through at this time. There may be other reports that are filed before we depart for the day. We will take those up as we can. Just give you an idea of where we're at. What you got, ma'am? Madam Clerk has indicated, gentleman from Harrison, Chairman of Education, that the conference report on item 8, 2422 has been filed. Do you wish to take that up at this time? Okay, looks like we have another one we can take up. You're recognized, gentlemen.
All right, thank you.
We're going
This
to
is
go to
the,
item 8, ladies and gentlemen, page 13, 2422. You're recognized.
this is the conference report for Senate Bill 2422, which would make a few changes to the procurement cards that teachers receive to purchase school supplies and things like that. The basic changes are reflective of the House position, which we passed a little earlier in the session, that moves the date that those have to be issued to teachers to August 1st. It also allows for digital options instead of just a physical card, so that teachers could use an app to track expenses and things like that. Again, that's a brief explanation of the changes. We also added part-time teachers, gifted teachers, and and special needs teachers as well to the bill for those who receive the procurement cards. That's a brief explanation of the conference report.
Questions on the report? I don't see any. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Question occurs on the conference report, Senate Bill 2422. If you favor the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. About 120 yeas, 0 nays. Report's adopted. All right. Now it appears that we've done everything that is currently available on the calendar. You gentlemen wants to have a rules meeting.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have some resolutions that we need to get out before we finish, so I'd like to have a rules meeting right now if there's no objection.
Well, we're about to recess, so you can just do it on recess. Let me give you an update of where we are, ladies and gentlemen. Met yesterday afternoon late, about 5 o'clock, with the elbow staff. They are working very hard to try to get the appropriations bills drafted, reviewed, double-checked, so on and so forth. As we've discussed before, it takes them about 48 hours to do all of that. So they are in the process of working, and will be working all weekend long, but they indicated there was no way they could get anything for us to do today, and doubtful that they could get enough for us to finish tomorrow. So in consultation with the Senate, we had decided that the best approach, rather than keep you here waiting around all day today and all day tomorrow, is to just give them the weekend to get their work done. They indicate that by Sunday, they should have everything finished and completed. So the plan is for those of you who are conferees on appropriation bills to arrive back here probably 5 o'clock Sunday afternoon, sign all of those reports, get them filed Sunday night, have them ready to go on Monday morning. And we would reconvene here Monday morning at 10 o'clock and hopefully knock everything out in one day so that you can come in on Monday morning and we would be done hopefully by Monday afternoon, and then you can return home. So out of respect for your time and the efficiency of all of this, we plan to adjourn today shortly, send you home for the weekend, let them finish their work, and then we'll come back Monday and finish up. That is the plan at this moment. I have not been advised by Elbow staff or anyone else that we should do anything different. We still have to pass a resolution, ladies and gentlemen, to extend the session on paper to allow for us to come in Monday and pass those bills. So we still have to pass that resolution. Rules will be meeting shortly to take that up. And in the meantime, we'll take up any other bills, reports that seem to be filed in the next hour or so. So that just gives you an idea of what the plan is. So we're going to recess subject to call while we work those things out. Before we do, lady from Hines, Ms. Yates, you have an item?
Introduction out of order, Mr.
Yes,
Speaker.
ma'am, you're recognized.
In the South Gallery, I'd like for us to help make welcome fifth graders from Span Elementary who are here with their teachers, Ms. Mangum, Ms. Mohawk, Ms. Tucker, and Dr. Delaney Lesh, the assistant principal.
Jim from Montgomery, Mr. Oliver.
For an announcement, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, in what you were speaking to the subcommittee chairman about in appropriations that need to be here Sunday afternoon, in addition to that, while you mentioned that, there are several representatives here, and I'm just going to call them by name: Representative Bennett, Ladner, Bounds, Beckett, Mango, Pygott, and White. There are conference reports that are ready now, and before y'all leave today, please go down in appropriation committee meeting room and sign those before you leave at that time when we do adjourn for the day.
Thank you, sir. Gentleman from DeSoto, Mr. Hale.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With the unanimous consent, I'd like to change my vote today on page 11, item 9, SB 2120, from a yes to a present.
Any objection? Change gentleman's vote. Gentleman from Capaya, Mr. Holloway.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to do a adjourn in memory.
We're not going to adjourn just yet, gentlemen.
Okay.
Just hang
All
on
right,
to it.
thanks.
All right, I don't see any further announcements. Gentleman from Choctaw, Mr. Hood, you're standing close by. Give us a motion to recess subject to call.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the House stand in recess, subject to call.
All in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. House in recess, subject to call.
Where, is it this one? Don't leave them. If I could have your attention for just a moment, please. We have an introduction out of order. In the North Gallery, we have some more students from Span Elementary. If you could all help us welcome them to their capital.
Please let the House come back to order. It appears that we have completed all the work we can do today. We do have a variety of rules items to take up, first being the extension of the session. So I'm going to recognize the lady from Lincoln to explain that resolution. Hit the button, please. Oh, okay. Madam Clerk, recognize Reason Committee report. You recognize, Madam Clerk.
Report of Committee on Rules, HCR number 90, Legislature change date of sine die adjournment of the 2022 regular session. Time sufficient, do be adopted.
You recognize, lady.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We need to call up HCR number 90 for the change of the sine die date.
Yes, ma'am. You recognize to present it.
House concurrent resolution that we're changing the sine die date to 12 midnight Sunday, April 10th, 2022. That's my explanation.
Any questions? I don't see any. If you favor the open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the resolution, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Everyone voted. All right. Close the machine. Madam Clerk, by vote 119 yeas, 0 nays, the resolution passes. Next item.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to take up all the SCRs in a block if I can.
Anyone have an item they wish to set aside? I give you a second to look at them. All right. Jump Monroe, Mr. Brown, you have one you wish to set aside?
I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker. I don't have a list. Do we have a list of them?
Okay. No, we don't. All right. We're going to have to recognize Madam Clerk to read the list.
SCR number 589 commends Summerfield program at USM Gulf Coast Research Laboratory on its 75th anniversary. SCR number 590 commemorate the 150th anniversary of the city of Macomb. SCR number 591 designate April 2nd, 22 as World Autism Awareness Day in Mississippi. SCR number 592 commends State Parole Board member Betty Lou Jones on the occasion of her retirement. SCR number 593 recognize service and legacy of World War II veteran Howard Bennett of Summerall, Mississippi. SCR number 594 commend Boonville High School Lady Blue Devils for winning 2022 MHSAA Class 3A basketball championship. Time sufficient, do be adopted. SCR number 595 commend Boonville High School Blue Devils baseball team. SCR number 596 commend Belmont High School Cardinals boys golf team. SCR number 597 commend Boonville High School Blue Devils boys basketball team. SCR number 598 commend Boonville Lady Blue Devils girls fast pitch softball team. SCR number 599 commend Belmont High School Lady Cardinals volleyball team. SCR number 600 commend Boonville High School Blue Devil marching band. SCR number 601 commend Hancock High School Lady Hawks girls bowling team. SCR number 602 commend Pearl River Community College Wildcats women's basketball team. And SCR number 603 commend Pearl River Community College Wildcats men basketball team. All listed. Title sufficient, do be adopted.
Anyone wish to have one set aside? I don't see any. Any questions? I don't see any. Give Madam Clerk a moment to program the computer. All right, open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor these resolutions, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Everyone voted. Close the machine, Madam Clerk. Vote 120 yeas, 0 nays. Resolutions are adopted. All right, what else you got?
Special guest.
We have a special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to give us your attention. We do have one special guest that we want to honor today. I'm going to recognize the lady from Lincoln and ask the Sergeant at Arms to escort our special guest to the speaker's podium.
Mr. Speaker, I'd also ask for immediate release on the others.
Any objection to immediate release? Hearing none, we will do that. All right, lady from Lincoln, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Resolution Number 120, a resolution commending Ms. Lanice Fleming upon the occasion of her retirement as Committee Assistant for the Mississippi House of Representatives. Whereas after 33 years of providing dedicated and zealous service to the Mississippi House of Representatives, Ms. Lanice Fleming will retire from public service as a committee assistant on June 30th, 2022. She came to work here in the fall of 1989 while attending Moore Career College, and then she was hired full-time because she was so good. I'm going to turn it over to the Speaker.
Well, this is one of those special occasions, ladies and gentlemen, where it's a bittersweet occasion, obviously, to have someone who has worked for this House of Representatives for 33 years, who has invested her entire career here, who has invested herself into the lives of you and this body and this institution, is truly something worth recognizing. There's no telling what she could tell on some of you and on previous people. But we are happy for her. She's now come to a point in her life where she can retire and go forth and spend time with her family, and I'm sure she will miss her days here. But we obviously want to take a moment to acknowledge the investment she's made in this institution, the investment she's made in each of our lives, the fact that this place is a better place because Lanice Fleming served here for 33 long years. So please show her how much we appreciate her. We have a resolution that we want to present to you and hope that it will remind you of us and the fond days that you spent here. We hope that you will come back often and see us and visit with us. I know you've got some family here with you. I'm going to let you say a word. And I want you to introduce your guest that you have with you.
I guess it's still morning. Good morning, everybody. And I thank you all so much for this honor. I thank Representative Holloway. I was his secretary for a long time, and I've been a secretary for a lot of you, old and new, and some retirees. And today I have with me my son, Jonathan Fleming, and my daughter, Jennifer Fleming. This is Maddie Cakes, that's Madison Grace Fleming, and this is my sister, Romeo Fleming Britton. And I'm just grateful and glad that they did come today. You know, I had said I wasn't going to cry, and I'm not. My face is just leaking, like the grit said. So thank y'all so much, and I wish you all the best because you all have been the best for me. And I'm going to miss this place, but I'm just down the street, around the corner, next to a tree, if you need me. Thank you.
What are your retirement plans?
Well, I've got a 5 that's going on 55-year-old, 6 going on 65-year-old granddaughter.
There you go.
And I'm going to pursue my vending business, my home-based business that I've
Oh,
been doing for
good.
the last 15 years.
Great, fantastic. Well, we wish you a lot of success in that. We're going to take a few pictures.
All right, y'all look at me. I'm gonna take some on my phone and the camera. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Good.
Please let the House come back to order. Does any chairman have a remaining item on the calendar they wish to take up? All right, I don't see any. I believe we've done all we can do. It appears that every item that's on the calendar is still covered by the suspension resolution, so those items can be taken up at any time. My suggestion is that those of you who are conferees on appropriations, you need to be here, I think, at 5 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. 5 o'clock Sunday to sign those conference reports. Those will be filed Monday morning, and we will return at 10 o'clock Monday morning to begin our work. And hopefully we'll be done quickly thereafter, so that all you can go home Monday afternoon. Any questions? Announcements, Mr. Clerk. Announcements, Madam Clerk. Jim from Washington, Mr. Hines.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to ask that the entire membership be listed on the resolution for Ms. Fleming. So
We can do that. Absolutely.
Okay, good, thank you.
It's already been done, Madam Clerk, too. Lady from Hines, Ms. Clark.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Speaker. I'd just like to remind you, those of you who might still be here tomorrow at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, you are welcome to join Alice's Angels as we walk to destroy MS. It's going to be in Pearl at the Trustmont Park. And if you forgot to bring your money, you have time to bring it Monday if you don't have it today. Thank each of you so much. You've made contributions for MS. Thanks again.
Thank you, ma'am. Jump from Jackson, Mr. Barton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just almost forgot about it. The jelly that was out in the foyer out here is Van White's mother. It's all homemade. She is a constituent of mine, and she's kind of legendary in our community for her jelly. So if you haven't tried her jelly, they brought that up this morning, and welcome for anybody to get some if you haven't already gotten some.
Thank you, sir. That's very kind. We appreciate that. Any other announcements? I don't see any. I recognize the lady from Lincoln for the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move this House be in recess till 10 a.m. Monday.
How about we do stand in recess or journal remain open until the last conference
Yeah.
report is filed, at which time the journal will reflect that the House stand adjourned to 10 a.m. Monday. How about that?
Ditto.
All right. All in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. House adjourned to 10 a.m. Monday.